Yes, guys. Hello. Are we live? Yes, we are. Yes, guys. Hello, and welcome back to the Spurs-related YouTube channel and podcast. I hope everyone is doing very well. Silly comment because, of course, everyone is doing well. Tottenham Hotspur are joint first in the Premier League alongside bitter rivals Arsenal, who have a one better goal difference. But today, we're going to be breaking down all of the tactics, the statistics, the learnings from the game yesterday at the London Stadium, where Tottenham absolutely trounced West Ham United 3-0. Probably should have been more. West Ham got a red card. We got a disallowed goal. We probably should have had a penalty. We're going to bring you all the latest, all the breakdown of that. Guys, as you join the chat, you know the drill. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribing if you are new. And make sure you're turning on the notification bell down below, as well as hitting like I said, and subscribing. But guys, we are going to do a little, 40 minutes or so, Frank, a little breakdown of the game today, but hopefully you guys are buzzing. Let us know your thoughts on the game. Thomas Frank's AI son, Frank Thomas, that is his name. How are you doing today, mate? You buzzing?
I am. I was quite confident going into yesterday, actually, which is rare for West Ham away. But no, I was confident, and I was proved right. I thought we were absolutely excellent. I mean, I spoke about it briefly on here last night, but I thought we were absolutely excellent for the large majority of the game. So yeah, buzzing.
Absolutely buzzing. And we will be bringing you all the breakdown of what was a sensational evening. I was on Spurs Talk Show yesterday with a watch along, and that was good fun with Sean. We were having great fun on there. We were raging at the referees. We were absolutely loving the goals. I think I pulled my mic out at one point. It was all carnage, but I might even make a highlights from that. It was good fun. But we've got David Clark in here from Leicester. He says, "I from Leicester got the score wrong. I said 3-1. Shame on you, David. You should have got the 3-0. No, joking. I said 2-1. How stupid of me thinking that West Ham. Let's just be honest, guys. They were absolutely dreadful yesterday. But we are going to get into things. Guys, remember to do all the things I said. Smash like, smash subscribe. But as we were saying, unbelievable performance, especially in the second half. Of course, it was 0-0. It was 0-0 in the first half after we got robbed with a disallowed goal from the referee, Jared Gillett, who had an absolute shocking match, I have to say. And I feel like he had to even it out by giving us that giving West Ham that red card. It very much did feel like he was evening out the playing field, to be honest with you. And yeah, obviously, it looks like, is this Tottenham's man of the match, Frank?
Yeah, and he got both of them, Tottenham and Premier League. So
Tottenham and Premier League player of the match. I think that's pretty much fair enough. Lucas Bergvall was just absolutely sensational, especially in that second half. He was really, really good yesterday. Really good. And I was buzzing. I was absolutely buzzing to see how well he played. I think actually second half, he was a lot better than the first half. I think first half, Frank, it was a bit dreary. What do you think?
Yeah, he did something really good at the end of the first half that I loved. It was probably my favourite bit of him, bar the goal in the game, where they, in like the last sort of seconds of the first half, Bowen got the ball and he drove forward. They went to counter-attack and he put in a brilliant sliding challenge and won the ball back and then took it through the middle of about three of them and kept the ball. And off we went again. And that was brilliant. That's kind of what he can do off the ball and then win it back as well. I thought the first half was maybe not the most energetic of halves. I thought we were a little bit at points sloppy with a little bit, but I didn't think we were poor by any means. I thought we were the better team in that first half, pretty much. West Ham huffed and puffed for 15, 20 minutes. They had a couple of decent chances, but bar that one Paqueta one where they sort of broke for us quite easily and he sort of sliced one wide, I think we were probably the better team throughout the whole thing.
100%. 110%, we were the better team. And look at this. We got the Sean Butler raid. Very much appreciated, Sean. Thank you so much, mate. Hope you had a good stream. Like I said, Frank and I were available to hop on for a little bit, but then we kind of were limited on this channel yesterday for obvious reasons, Sean. But we had great fun on the watch along. It was good fun. And Destiny's in here, Archer's in here, Ulrika Johnson, Sean the Tell Lover raid. Daniel's in here, and Dafar Sure. Apologies if I got that wrong. But I appreciate you all coming in. Guys, let us know who your player of the match yesterday was. That is what we are currently talking about. Because I think there was a few that were up for contention, to be perfectly honest with you. I think Bergvall had an exceptional game. I think Sarr had an exceptional game, especially second half. He was great. And actually, if I'm being brutally honest, Frank, Sean and I on the watch along yesterday were saying that actually we think Bergvall and Sarr were a little bit lost in the first half. And it wasn't until the second half, especially within the first couple of minutes, we just started to open them up. We started to play really, really aggressively and, got that early goal from the corner, which was, I don't know why there was 4 players unmarked to that back stick. Absolutely unbelievable. But I think first half, I was actually saying I think we should take Sarr or Bergvall off. So it proves how much I know. But no, it was brilliant. I think Bergvall's in the man of the match category. Obviously, he's got it. But Sarr, I think Romero as well was sensational. Van der Ven, of course, incredible. I thought Porro didn't have his best game. I thought he was getting absolutely done by that Juve. And you called that. Juve is a very, very good player. So, I'm not surprised how well he was doing against Porro, because Porro isn't very good defensively. Let's be honest. He's incredible offensively. Frank, I'll come to you with your thoughts in just a sec. As Ulrika Johnson's saying, make sure you are hitting the like button. Those Raiders, absolutely great stuff. Thank you for the reminder. Guys, if you can all hit that like button, like I said, subscribe if you are new to Spurs Related. That would be awesome if you could do that, and turn on notifications. As you know, I'm quite often on, Frank and I are both quite often on Sean's channel, and we have Sean on here as well sometimes. So, please do like, subscribe, and hit the noti bell so you never miss us going live. If you want that more Spurs content on your screens, as we all love. I mean, I'm watching all the channels normally when I'm offline, so absolutely. And we got a super sticker. We haven't got the Sean Butler super sticker train noise, but really, really appreciate that from you with a $2.99 Aussie dollar super sticker. I'd love to see what that is. I need to go on actually YouTube and have a look what that is, but maybe you could let me know. And Ulrika's saying choo choo, getting that train started. But yes, thank you so much, Ulrika. That is very, very kind of you. But Frank, I know you wanted to quickly touch on Bergvall as well, in terms of, obviously him being player of the match. But, I heard Sean talking about it on his stream the other day. Like, is Bergvall a 6? Is he an 8 or a 10? I think he's actually a hybrid. He can almost do it all, can't he?
He really can. He really can. He's a really special talent. And I don't think we kind of realise how good he is, actually. And even as much as we rave about him, I don't think we realise. The goal yesterday was sort of Dele-esque. The late run into the box, and the just, it was perfect. Some of his defensive play was superb. On the ball, fantastic. He's just a superb player, and he could end up being the best player that Tottenham have had in years. I think, genuinely, I think he's that good, and I don't want to sort of get over the top and excited. And the kid's unbelievably talented, and that's really exciting. That's really, really exciting. As you say, he's a hybrid. He's kind of a mix of all three, and it's very rare that you find players like that now. You used to get that more so, where players, the Roy Keane, Vieira types, where they were a 6, but they could do the lot. Gerrard could do the lot. Nowadays, as sort of times moved on and tactics have changed and things have shifted, I think you get a lot of players that stick to one and they are molded as a 6, or they're molded as an 8, or they're molded as a 10. It's rare you come across someone that can do all three so well, and so I think he's going to go right to the very top. I think the kid's unbelievable.
Yeah, absolutely. And talk to me about Pape Matar Sarr as well, mate, because he was sensational as well, and you could almost make that same sort of comparison, right?
Yeah, there he is.
What's he? Did he get studded in the hand or something?
Good point.
What I was going to say was, like, he could also be sort of I guess a more advanced 8 at times / the 10, but also can play a little bit more deep lying. I think I would say Pape Matar Sarr's perfect position is box to box. He's an engine, right? He loves to run. He loves to put in a challenge. He loves a good pass. He's got a very good football brain, and he runs around that pitch so well. He's got the engine to almost cover a 6 and a 10 in the same game. That's what a box to box midfielder does, of course. So I was very impressed with his performance. I think he was as good as Bergvall for me. I know Bergvall got the player of the match, but I think Pape Matar Sarr was fantastic. Great header at the back post as well. Don't know where the West Ham defenders are. Maybe they thought it was maybe they thought the second half wasn't on, because I don't know where they went at half time, because they actually made it quite difficult for us first half. But second half, I just think Graham Potter had obviously put them all to sleep or in standby mode, because it was absolutely shocking, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. That's the thing. I think we've got to be careful because, and I hate it in the media a lot of the time. And I'm not going to rant now, but I hate it in the media that whenever Spurs win a game, I never seem to hear it was because Spurs played well. And I'll listen to Sky afterwards and Jamie Redknapp and Zola, and it's all about, West Ham were dreadful and couldn't defend, and they couldn't. But I think largely we capitalised on a lot of those things. I mean, we saw the changes they made. They showed it on Sky last night, and I saw some bits I was going to bring up in a little while. The changes they made in the set pieces at half time, and that's why Sarr scored a couple of minutes later. And then obviously the Mickey van de Ven goal came from like the second phase of play from that as well. So in terms of the way we capitalised on it, brilliant. West Ham were poor. West Ham were very poor, and I'm not going to sit and pretend they weren't. They were sloppy. But I think a lot of what we did was fantastic, and there's a lot of reason to be excited. And I thought Sarr, again, as you say, was part of that. I think you said at the start that him and Bergvall went a little bit missing in the first half at points. I think they grew into the game, but what I noticed from the very start is that Paulinho was being left on his own, and those two were pushing up so much that a lot of the time, if they broke that press, which West Ham did quite easily a couple of times, Paulinho was on his own, and then the other two were nowhere to be seen. And after a while, they dropped in a little bit. I think Sarr dropped in more and played in that sort of double pivot. And then we had control, and that's when we started to actually build up on the ball. And we were going, "This is okay. We can push forward, and we can take the ball forward." And we got a much greater foothold in the game once that happened. And it was down to the two young ones in midfield. I mean, the fact they got them for 22 million quid combined for the pair of them, I mean, is whatever we think of Paratici for him and Johan Lange for Bergvall. I mean, there's some sensational bits of business.
Absolutely, mate. And like you said, like Bergvall and Sarr both so young. Like Bergvall, 19 years of age, born in 2006. Pape Meta Sarr, I mean, 21, I believe, or 20. I mean, it's ridiculous. And we've got a very bright future ahead. I think, as you were saying, like you don't want to get too ahead of yourself with Bergvall, or both of them really, but Bergvall in particular. But like the fact that Barcelona wanted him, we beat them to him, and now we're reaping the rewards, and we're going to get interest from Real Madrid. We're going to get interest from Barcelona in the next year or two. I'm fully confident on that. I mean, Bergvall would be the perfect Barcelona player, wouldn't he? Really, almost taking place of where Frankie de Jong currently is. I think he would honestly be as good as him. Dafarshe, Frank, were you interested by Chelsea, West Ham and others overloading defenders to the front post for long throw-ins and corners yesterday? Certainly leaves them open to any knock-on. You want to take this one, Frank?
Yeah, I really love, how when everyone goes to the game's gone and whatever, and the game feels like it's back. For some reason this season, every team seems to have a player that takes long throws, and it's incredible, and I love it. And Tony Pulis was way ahead of the curve with Rory Delap all those years ago. I mean, it's sensational. It's something that we lost and no one really did. And then all of a sudden, every team, like when Danso started doing it against PSG, we're all going, this is genius. And now every team's got one. Coyote was unbelievable last night. Kevin Schade, I think, was taking him as well, and it was his that they scored from. And you go through, all of the teams are doing it now. Literally every team has one. I think West Ham put one or two into the box. We've got a few. Bergvall can take them, and Danso takes them, and Kudus less good at them, but he seems to take a few. I mean, I love it. I really, really love it. I mean, I think because it's all become so statistical and numerical, the sport, I think there's people realise there's such an opportunity and an avenue to create things and score goals out of chances like that. It's the equivalent of whipping in a corner. I mean, if you've got someone that can do that, I think it's more than acceptable, and you should do that. And I'm glad that we're doing it, and I'm glad for the sake of the game that a lot of teams are doing it, because I think it's fantastic to watch.
Absolutely, mate. I completely agree with you. Sunny J's in here saying Bergvall reminds me of KDB a lot and could be like him in a few years. Not bad, hey guys. That's quite a good comparison, isn't it? Quite a good comparison. Alrika saying Glenn Hoddle was right in his post-match analysis. Corners have to be man-marked with a bit of zonal. I completely agree. And Adzi's on Twitter ads. By the way, guys, if you're on Twitter and Facebook, come over to YouTube. You can join the live chat. You can become a member. All that great stuff that we're doing over here, and we bring up all the YouTube comments. So come over to YouTube if you haven't already, and let me know when you're over there. Axertos, that is some beard as well, mate. He says, "Hey, mate," and average Mirage fan, we were class, but I think we need to be better from open play. Yeah, fair enough. The red card kind of did skew the match a little bit. I don't think it would have been 3-0 with the red card. And Mr. Wignall saying, we struggle to build through the middle of the pitch, and Bergvall can be that solution. If he steps up, he can be our fulcrum. Everything revolves around. Absolutely. And as Shawnee's quite rightly said, with 150 or so of you, 160 of you, or 250 across all socials, smash the likes and subs for these lads. You've heard it from Butler himself. Please do that, guys. I like my little banners as well here. Like, hit that like button. Free to do so. There's one of them. Turn the noti bell on down below. It's also free to do so. And subscribe if you're new. We're on the march to 5,000 subscribers. Frank and I have been doing pretty much daily content over here. So if you do enjoy what you're hearing now, massively appreciate it. If you can do those 3 free favors of like, subscribe, and noti bells on. And that was very kind of you as well, Sean. Again, thank you so much for the raid. Appreciate it, mate. It was great to do the watch along with you yesterday, and looking forward to catching up with you on Tuesday at the game. That will be good fun. That will be good fun. And guys, absolutely no obligation, but like very kindly Ulrika Johnson as we can upgrade our equipment and stuff like that with the super stickers and the super chats, and it keeps us going. Frank's already bought a nice little fancy clip-on mic. So guys, the super chat option is there. It's not compulsory, but I'm just letting you know it's there. Plus, in the description, there are the membership options. And if you become a member, there's 2 benefits. You get priority in the chat. If we see a member put in the chat, you're straight up. And also, you can come on any live stream where we got fans coming on and followers coming on. So please do think about the membership option as well. It's only £2 a month, I believe. So anyway, enough of the plug-in. Appreciate it, Sean. Tell was poor. We got to talk about Tell at some point. He says, I was so happy when it looked like he was going off. You can't be happy when he's injured, guys. Come on, that is one thing I've got to say. You can't be happy with an injury, no matter if you don't like a player or not. You shouldn't wish an injury. But I agree, he can be a liability. He'll cost us points because Frank will feel like he has to play. I don't think Frank will feel like he has to play him. I feel like there may be a bit of pressure to get him embedded into the Premier League team, considering he's not in the Champions League squad. Carl, it's been a while, mate. Hope you're doing well. Hulk smashes Daniel Field. Chat's going quite quick. I can't even keep up with it. Appreciate the support today, guys. Average Mirage fan, and Xavi is not an outer left wing. We're going to talk about Xavi 100%. Paulinho, for me, is our best player. He's so underrated. He does such a good job there. We're going to talk about him as well. Tell played okay. Do you know what, guys? Give me a 1 little interaction, please. Give me a 1 in the chat if you would play Tell again in the next game, and give me a 2 in the chat if you wouldn't. I think there's going to be a lot of 2s here. But if you put 2, let me know who you would be starting as our number 9. Because, yeah, why was Richarlison not playing? Did he have a little knock because he came back from international duty, Frank, obviously from South America? Do you think that's the reason why Richarlison didn't play there?
I imagine just the fact he played late Tuesday night, I think it was, early Wednesday morning in Brazil, like Bentancur. I think if they left him out, at least you can play him on Tuesday night. So he'll start. Richarlison will start on Tuesday night, I would solely imagine, against Villarreal. Same as Bentancur. Both keep them fresh. They obviously won without the pair of them. Richarlison they won without the pair of them, really, yesterday. That's fine by me. Keep Richarlison, and I think you need him for Tuesday night, especially with Colin Moani not fully fit and what's his face, Solanke still out.
Absolutely, yeah. Good point. Yeah, he's being saved for Tuesday. He's gonna be playing then, isn't he? We'll talk about who we think is going to line up on Tuesday in a little bit. We've got to get through a few more bits like we've prepared here. So Xavi Simons, of course, made his Tottenham Hotspur debut. It was so exciting to see him, get a run out yesterday. I think he showed sparks, Frank. I think that's probably the word. I think he showed sparks of brilliance, but also was pretty quiet out on the left. I think it didn't help. I don't think that he didn't really understand the team. Obviously, he's new. He hasn't bedded in yet. But I think he was a little bit isolated as well on the left-hand side. I prefer him personally in the 10. I know it's a bit early to say that, and I've seen a lot of other people saying that, but I was saying straight away on the watch-along yesterday with Sean, I'd put Xavi in the middle just because I think he will help Tell and he will create more there. Oh, Jesus.
I just saw
Ricky
that.
Hatton's passed away. That is terrible news. That is terrible news. Oh my goodness, that's bad. That's very bad. Rest in peace to him. He's a legend. When growing up, I used to watch all his fights. That's thrown me off a bit, Frank. So sorry, Xavi Simons. What do you think of him, mate? In terms of, do you think he should be playing in the 10? Do you think he should be sort of on the? Do you think you give him more time on the left-hand side? What's your thoughts, Isaac? Guys, let us know in the comments. Do you think Xavi should be playing in the 10 on Tuesday if he's featured, or do you think he'd put him on the left and put Richarlison up front and maybe Sarr at the 10? What do you guys think? Frank, what do you think?
I would like to see on Tuesday night. I would like to see him in the 10, Kudus on the right, Richarlison up top, and I wouldn't mind seeing Tell on the left. Oh, Tell's not in the squad. Sorry, Odegaard. I forgot it's Champions League. Sorry, that's my bad. Odegaard maybe on the left. My hunch is that it won't be. My hunch is it will be Bentancur, Paulinho, and one of Bergvall or Sarr, and then the same, and then Richarlison and Kudus and Simons in the wing. Would be my guess, but I'd like to see Xavi Simons in the 10. I thought Simons had quite a decent game, actually. I thought, as you say, there were sparks. There were moments where I thought he looked exciting. He was trying things. He was working hard, and I like that. On the flip side, I think he's going to work better with Udogie if he's playing out there. And it's not in any disrespect to Jed Spence, but Jed's doesn't seem to want to, I know he's right-footed, obviously, but he doesn't obviously have that capability to always use his left foot, which is fine. I understand it because he's playing on that side. And I think when you play like Bowen, who likes to cut in, and Salah and people like to cut in from that right-hand side, it's brilliant because he goes with them. And I think that's great. I think for certain games, I think Xavi Simons was looking for someone that was going to keep going on the overlap yesterday. And it didn't happen. There was a bit where he got it in the middle and he played it out left and kind of hoping Jed was there and almost pass it to where he would have wanted himself to be. So I think that's a bit of a thinking point is probably the best way of putting it. Not necessarily an issue, but certainly something to contemplate. As I say, I like Jed Spence a lot, but I think he will work better Simons with Udogie longer term, just because I think he likes someone that can go and he can play them and send them, and I don't think Jed does that on that left hand side. On the right hand side, maybe it wouldn't shock me if we start seeing Pora, Udogie and Spence at times as the fullback pairings and things. But I think Udogie is going to be back in the team relatively quickly, actually, when he's fully fit.
Yeah, we'll do our predicted lineup on the tactics board maybe in a bit, mate. 100%. But yeah, I think Udogie will be back in the game. Alan said Spence looked off it in the first half. I do agree, it's probably his worst half of football. But listen, the guy's been sensational for many games, many appearances. At home in the Champions League, I played Xavi in the 10. We'll go through the lineup in a minute, guys, and get your thoughts on that. We want to keep it as interactive as possible with you guys, and I believe this is Drew. Big up, mate. It was good to be on the show with you yesterday. Xavi Simons assist for Sarr's goal. An impressive chip lobs into the far post area of the penalty area. Absolutely a great delivery. His deliveries look great. Frank, I believe this is, this guy keeps saying about Neymar. He's on a wind-up. Spence slows everything down because he was very one-footed, but he's a good defender. Spurs side chat saying Vicario looked shaky on a couple of shots. This is why I feel Kinski will come in. Guys, do you think next engagement piece for the chat, do you guys think that Kinski will eventually replace Vicario within this season? Because I think this is a great talking point, because not to go off our what we plan to talk about, Frank, but I think, okay, Vicario got a clean sheet yesterday, but let's be honest, how many shots did he deal with? Not many. One of them he missed, right? And he hit him in the face, and it went out for a corner. Like, that could have easily gone wrong. The way his distribution is sketchy. I'm going to be honest. Listen, I'm not hating on Vicario. I think since he's come in, he's been a pretty solid keeper for us, right? But I worry about his coming out for crosses, especially out against better opposition. For corners, he is sketchy with the ball at his feet. Like, Kinski, technically, I know he's a lot younger. I think he's not 100% that Vicario is going to be our starting keeper for the whole season. If he does a couple of mess ups, I think Kinski will be knocking on that door. Do you agree, Frank, or do you think I'm way off there?
I think we'll see Kinski play, but I don't think we'll see it that much this season. I think what separates a good goalkeeper and an elite goalkeeper, or like a really top goalkeeper, is actually when they don't have to do much. Weirdly, and like you see it. You see it sometimes, and some of these clubs that have. I mean, Robert Sanchez is one at Chelsea, and that they might not actually have to do that much. But then when teams have chances against them, they've got to then keep those chances out, because they might only, instead of playing for West Ham where you've got to deal with 25 shots a game or 20 shots a game, as Hermansen is doing, as he did at Leicester, right? This is the thing I've always kind of said. I never get the hype around goalkeepers that come up from promoted teams. We saw it with Kaminsky at Luton, Meslier at Leeds, Hermansen now at Leicester. And this is kind of a common theme, that because they make a load of saves, making loads of saves doesn't always equal being a top goalkeeper. And so I think, yeah, he's chaotic and he's maybe not the greatest distributor of the ball. But what he does do is when he's called upon every so often in a game, he does seem to actually make the save or do what he kind of needs to do. And that's why they've kept, that Bournemouth game, he was excellent. He was absolutely excellent. He was the reason that wasn't 5-0 probably. And I think Kinski, I think, is at the moment Pirlo with gloves. I think he's unbelievable on the ball. I think he's still got a long way to go to be
Pirlo with gloves.
a top shot stopper. I think he will be a great goalkeeper, by the way, Kinski. I think that's kind of inevitable. But I just think at the moment, I don't see a world. As I say, Vicario, when you need him, it tends to be relied upon. They've conceded one goal in 4 this season, in 4 games. He was a reason we didn't concede probably 4 or 5 in the Bournemouth game.
Yeah.
And so for now, all my trust is in him. As chaotic as he can be, all my trust is still in him for now.
Yeah, absolutely. Fair play. Pirlo with gloves. I like that. Kinski will start maybe against Doncaster, not in the Champions League or League. We've only let 1 goal in 4 games. Listen, like I said, I'm not crucifying Vicario. He's a top keeper. He is a top keeper. There are weaknesses there, and I'm saying if he made some errors, then maybe Kinski is on the door. Well, I'd rather Austin than Kinski. Wow, that's interesting. I think eventually it'll be next summer or one after. They'll eventually end up buying a new starting goalkeeper. His Ed, big up Ed, Musa. A few new faces in the chat as well, guys. Make sure if you are new and you've come over from Spurs Talk Show, you're just naturally coming and you're new from the algorithm, please do make sure you are hitting the like button, but more importantly, hitting the subscribe button down below, guys. We are on a march to 5,000. I don't plug it often. I just appreciate the people in the chat, the 200 or so of you watching now. Please do hit the subscribe button. Please do hit the like button. It's down below. It's free to do so. And also, while you're down there, turn on the notification bell. Give me a little ring, ding, ding in the chat so you never miss a live or never miss an upload. I'd really appreciate that. And Alan's got his thumbs up as well. But Moose is saying Kinski isn't ready. Remember last season, Kinski will be the domestic keeper. Yeah, Kinski looks promising, but he's way off. Vicario seems to have a strong voice. Yeah, that is true, actually. That is true. I'm surprised you aren't coming in here and started calling me names, Adam. I don't forget these people that call me names. Oh, that's terrible. Chris Cowlin. Christian Ibsen. I think Vicario is doing perfectly fine at the moment. I feel he's really worked on his distribution and he's developing. He's one of the best shot stoppers in the Premier League. Do you agree with that, Frank?
Yeah, I think as a shot stopper, I think he's fantastic. And I do agree with that as well, that I think his distribution has actually improved. Listen, I think you need to be comfortable with the ball at your feet to be a modern goalkeeper. But as I say, that's what separates top goalkeepers. We've seen it with Onana. We've seen it with Robert Sanchez. I never thought Ederson was a fantastic goalkeeper at City. That often, when they were actually attacked these teams in sort of the limited periods, United a little bit less so because they are defensively so poor. But Ramsdale was one, right? He did things and he did make saves, but he also made some howlers at times as well. And so I think that's what separates him to being actually a really good goalkeeper, is that when he is called upon, he does tend to actually save us a little bit. And so for that reason, yeah, I think at the moment he is still my number one for good reason as well.
Absolutely, mate. Fair play. Maybe I'm being too harsh from Vicario. Slap myself on the wrist and get on with it. Listen, we're going to move on. Well, just finally on Xavi. Would you agree it wasn't an insane debut? But listen, he did get the assist from the corner. His corners were causing problems. I believe he would have had the assist for the other corner. Or did Kudus take that one? Actually, I think Kudus took that one where we got disallowed. Yeah. So we got an assist. Like I said, he showed sparks. But if you're giving him out of 10, what are you saying? 7 out of 10 maybe performance? Is that too harsh? Is that too generous? What do we think, guys? Out of 10 in the chat. Whack it below. What would you give Xavi Simons on his debut out of 10? I'm going to go 7 out of 10. Frank, what do you think?
I think that's more than fair. There was enough that meets the eye to go, he's going to be a good player for Tottenham. But I was still, don't get me wrong, he wasn't like dominating the game or anything, but I saw enough. I saw more than enough that I go, I'm excited to watch him again.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's certainly enough there that I'm excited about watching him, because I think he was very good.
Got it. A lot of 6.5, 6.9. So yeah, I think average here is about 7. So I think that's fair enough. Guys, we're going to do some more player ratings for you guys. I hope you are enjoying the stream so far. If you are new, as I said, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the noti bell. I won't plug it again, I promise, until the end of the video. So please do me those 3 massive favors. Like I said, you can support the channel with super chats. Skip the queue. I say skip the queue. I mean, it's gone pretty quick today, all the chats. So I'm struggling to keep up. So I appreciate all the comments. And obviously, the membership option is available as well if you do want to come on. But Xavi, I thought was outstanding. Inner Hype says 9. Wow, that's a high rating. Xavi 7, good debut, looked comfortable in the Premier League. I liked his movement, says Ed. We've got 6 from Adam. That's too harsh, Adam. That's too harsh. And Ghosty is saying, big up James and Frank. Big up yourself, mate. Big up yourself. But we're going to move on to talking about, Mohammed Kudus. I guess obviously coming back to the London Stadium, he got quite reception. I say he got quite the reception, mate. But half the fans weren't there from kickoff, and then about 80% of the fans weren't there from minute 60. So the boos were quite quiet anyway. It's quite awkward. But what we said about Kudus' performance yesterday, I think he was very, very, very bright again. Made that left back look silly at times. That left back's definitely better at attacking than defending, because he put him on his bum a couple of times, didn't he? But yeah, what do you make of Kudus' performance, mate? I'd probably give him a 7, 7.5, to be honest, out of 10.
Yeah, I thought he was very good. I thought he was one of our better players, actually. It went quite under the radar. It did make me laugh, just on a slightly different note. I almost respected the pittiness from West Ham fans. That the booing really continued for a while, but it obviously got progressively quieter. But it continued for the whole first half, and I was thinking, do you know what? Fine. And there was one point where he slipped over, and there was an actual standing ovation, and I thought, I can get behind that somehow, because it's quite funny. And then obviously it went 3-0 very, very quickly, and that all silenced, and they all went home. And I think it was about that point where it was 2 or 3-0 that Kudus just then had a real swagger in what he was doing. He was playing well in the first half, and you could tell he was enjoying it. But I mean, that second half, he flicked it over someone near the end. He did one of those the Neymar touches again. I mean, he was just, you could tell he was disappointed not to score as well. I mean, that celebration I probably would have celebrated that as much as I did the Johnson goal in Bilbao, I think, if he bagged yesterday, because it would have just been absolutely hilarious. And he was really unlucky that he didn't get on the score sheet. There was the one that was blocked sort of just after his one that was saved well by Hermansen. So I thought his general performance though was superb. I think he's tough. He takes us forward. He creates things. He's exciting. He's got a sensational delivery. The pair of those in that photo have got a sensational delivery from corners as well. I thought he played against a fullback who was good in Diouf. Malik Diouf's a good player, and I said about him the other day, but I was far more impressed with him yesterday than I thought I was going to be, actually. And yet, half the time, Diouf didn't really get near him. I thought he was excellent, Kudus, really excellent.
Yeah, I think maybe went a little bit under the radar given the performances from Lucas Bergvall, Pape Matar, Palhinha had a really good game. Mickey van der Ven had a good game, especially second half. So did Romero. So I guess if you rank them in terms of, throughout the match, he's probably the 6th or 7th best Spurs player, but it doesn't mean he had a bad game at all. Kudus' deliveries and corners was so good, and so was Xavi's deliveries, really, really good. I take Diouf at Spurs. I don't think we need him, mate, but fair play. I don't think he's actually that good defensively. I think he's quite skillful going forward and can put in a good cross. He was getting the better of Porro in that first half. I was a bit worried, but afternoon, fellas. Hope you're both well. Logan, always appreciate you coming in, my man. Thank you for coming in. Sunny J is saying Doji natural left foot was much better for Xavi, as he would ran on the outside of him. And Christian saying, so don't base evaluation on results until December. Base it on player focus and performance, mentality and quality. Well, you sounded like Thomas Frank here, Christian. It's like some quite long words for me in the morning, Well, it's not even the morning. It does feel like it. But anyway, what else? Well, we've got to talk about Thomas Frank, right? Frank?
Yeah.
Thomas Frank? Yeah. Frank Thomas, we've got to talk about him. How good, how right did he get it yesterday? And do you think his team talk at half time and his changing tactics slightly had a massive impact on the fact that we were 0-0 at half time, worrying that it could be 0-0 or 1-0 either way? Bang, we get a goal 2 minutes into the second half. Then there's a red card, and then we score 2 more. Is this down to Thomas Frank? Is this down to a bit of luck? Did he get it spot on? Talk to me.
I don't want to get too excited too quickly, but I think the guy's a genius. To be brutally honest, to say it kind of how it is, I think he's sensational. I really do. What I like is we lost to Bournemouth, and I saw the quote yesterday came out, and he said, I think he spoke with Amazon Prime or someone, and he said that he got it wrong. He said he got it wrong, which he did. And so he rewatched it. He got it wrong. He worked out what to do, changed it. He had his little notepad, which is nice to see a manager on the side writing things down. And he changed it, and it worked, and we won, and we played well. And so, listen, I understand the level of opponent, and West Ham aren't playing that well, but we need to kind of respect the idea that Spurs haven't won there in 6 years. It's Spurs' biggest win at West Ham since 1962, which is incredible when you think about it. Like, yeah, wow. Unbelievable. And so he's gone there, and as easy as that game sounds, and Chelsea scored 5 there and whatever, Spurs don't do that. It was a very un-Spurs-like performance at a game like that. You know, how many times have we seen Spurs score a goal, it gets disallowed or whatever, and there's a problem or something happens, we end up crumbling and we lose that game 1-0. And we've seen that so often in the last 10 years, 15 years, longer than that before I know. So it was nice. It was un-Spurs-like, and I think that's probably the best compliment I can give him, that he's doing something. I think he's building something quite special. He's reacting to in-game situations. He's obviously someone that they all get on with. It was nice seeing him sort of laugh with and joke with Mickey van der Ven and Bergvall when they came off. I saw him giving some nice praise to Jed Spence after it as well. So, yeah, I think they're all buying into him, which is good. I'm surprised it's happened this early. I think it's fantastic. The foundation they've built defensively, that was probably the bit I thought would take more time. I know they've got good defenders, but given how they've been in the last couple of years, I thought it would take a bit of time. They've got that spot on so far. They do need to maybe improve a little bit going forward. Xavi Simons, when he adapts a little bit more, will fine. Kudus is bedding in well. They need a run with a proper striker, whether that be Richarlison, Solanke, Tel, Kolomuani, whoever it be. Someone needs to actually be playing consistently. But all in all, I mean, I think everything he's doing so far is very good, and long may it continue.
Absolutely, mate. I'm not even going to, add to that. I think you're spot on. I think, yeah, it's very, very exciting. Thomas Frank at the helm, mate. He's, I think where was the comment? It was nice to see a man. I think it was a little slide dig at Ange here. I can't find the comment now. It's something about I liked that the manager actually reacted, at half time to how it was going, and that is true, mate. As much as I know you like Ange Postecoglou, and I liked him, especially at times. He was limited in his tactics, and I think Forest are going to see that this year. I really do. I can't find a comment. Apologies, whoever put it though. You're spot on. I think it's true. I think Thomas Frank is a better tactician than Ange Postecoglou, and of course we don't have to sit here and and compare them, but it's nice to have someone that mixes it up. Alan's saying we normally get bad results after an international break, which looked like striking again in the first, but shook it off in the second. Absolutely, and as you can see, that table looks pretty nice, other than the fact that our arch rivals are above us. But it's the only team that is above us, Frank. 4 games played, 9 points, 1 loss against Bournemouth, only 1 goal conceded all season, 8 goals scored in 4 games, averaging 2 goals a game. Happy days, mate. Other than the fact that Liverpool today, I think, or tomorrow, play Newcastle. They play Burnley, don't they? And I believe they'll probably win at Turf Moor, so they will go above us. But listen, mate, we would take any day of the week top 3 in our first 4 games, wouldn't we?
100%. I mean, the thing is as well, and we lost to Bournemouth, who are a good side. Let's not make no bones about that, right? They've won 3 from 4, and their one loss was the one at Anfield where they pulled it back to 2-2 and then conceded twice in the 90 plus whatever, right? They're a good side. They're not mugs, and so we lost to them. We weren't great. It happens. Fine. I'm okay with that. We've adapted. He's learned. He's moved on. But it is funny that you look at it and you go, well, Arsenal, well, they're going to win the title. They're going to win the title. They're amazing. And Liverpool obviously are very good. And Chelsea are title challengers. And I'm not for 1 second saying that we are. But it does feel like the starts of the season we've had has gone a bit under the radar, probably because of that Bournemouth result. If we'd lost at City and won the other 3, I think maybe we'd be talked about a little bit more, funny enough. But all in all, I think it's been a really fantastic start to the season. We just need to maybe improve the not slipping up on certain games at times, like the Bournemouth one. But I think under Thomas Frank, we're going to see us win a lot more games we don't think we will win. You know what I mean? That when we go away to Everton and like away at West Ham, this is kind of my thought process before yesterday, that we always go, oh, that might be a draw, or we're going away to Crystal Palace, that's going to be a draw. We're going to win these games now. We're going to go there, we're going to win 2-1, and we're going to win 3-1, and we're going to, because he's going to adapt things. It's not just going to be Tottenham are going to roll over, and that's exciting. We just need to break teams down. But I look at it and I go, with Xavi Simons, with Kudus, and then with one other, whoever that be, I think they can break teams down relatively easily. I just think Bournemouth are so well oiled and so well structured, and I think they're a really top side that we just struggled on the day. But hopefully they've learned.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. I agree with your point about, we're going to win games we don't expect to, that we normally expect to draw. And we'll get Forest relegated to Spurs side chat. We normally, I've read that one. Ed saying hard to judge. James Ward Scouse and Souček were breathing out of their arse after half an hour. Second half, West Ham set off, but can't really fault Frank yesterday. We put in such a professional performance. Giddy Haps, what a name that is. What's your profile picture? It's like horses at war or something. I like Ange Postecoglou, born winner forever. He broke the trophy curse, the only manager to do it. Absolutely. He's going to go down as a legend. But listen, he made those Premier League games absolutely miserable to watch. I went into Premier League games not wanting to watch it. It got that bad. Yeah. Sonny went, we normally get poor results the game before we go away on international checks. I heard the other day it's one of the worst records in the league. We need to change this. Happened again versus Bournemouth. Yeah, that's true. We seem to always, before we go on international breaks, get a loss. Alan also feeling the same as Giddy Hup, saying, I bless Ange, but the tactics in the league absolutely sucked. Matthew Ball paying tribute to Ricky Hatton. Yeah, very sad news. Very sad news. Yeah, it's kind of a surprise, mate. He's only 46, but yeah, God rest his soul, bless him, and hopefully his family get through this hard time. Logan saying, I gotta say it, I cannot stand Liverpool. Do you know what? Out of all the other top clubs, I think actually for me, I don't like Liverpool, but I hate much more obviously Chelsea and Arsenal, of course.
Can I just say, I used to really hate them. Like, I used to really dislike them. And then...
Who's Kate Miller?
Kate Miller. Kate Miller's obviously linked to Daniel Levy, who's in the chat, and Donna Cummins. Kate Miller got hired by Spurs this week. I think that's her.
Right. Okay. Yeah, already brilliant. I thought it's someone from the Spurs board. Anyway, sorry. What were you going to say about Liverpool?
Liverpool, I used to really, really hate, but now that they're in sort of a title race with Arsenal every year, I become a Liverpool fan from May on, or from April onwards every season. So I don't mind them as much.
Yeah, absolutely. Sonny J saying, I got 3 teams today to win a free, £2 bet to get 78. I can cash out now for 25, but I've still got Liverpool to beat Burnley, Barca to beat Valencia, and PSG to beat Lens. Firstly, I can't really give you financial advice, otherwise I'd get in trouble. But if I'm honest, I think Liverpool will beat Burnley. Barca should beat Valencia, right? I don't know about Lens. Where's that at? Is that at PSG? If it's at PSG, I think PSG will win. But if it's at Lens, it's at PSG. Okay. Yeah. I'd personally leave that, but that's on you, mate. That's on you. Let us know how you get on in the next stream.
I have to say I agree with you. Not that I'm advocating betting in any way. So for anyone that's under the age of 18 listening, don't bet. But I think you've got to stick with that and hope. Yeah,
there you go. It's all on Ed's head. Look, he said let it run, but I agree.
Yeah.
I have nothing to do with Levy. I'm part of the new hierarchy. Brilliant. Jamie Birdell saying beating West Ham ain't a flex right now, given where they are. I agree. But listen, mate, we only can play what's in front of us. We can only play what is in front of us. But guys, Pedro Porro has played 87 games without ever featuring in a 0-0 draw, an all-time record. That's insane.
Yeah, unbelievable. I just had to bring that up just because I thought it was really interesting. And that's a record, which I found was, again, it's just mad to think that we've not drawn 0-0 once since in the league, since he was brought in what, January 2023, which is mental. I know we drew 0-0 once in the Champions League. That was when we got knocked out of the Champions League to Milan. But other than that, yeah, mad.
Absolutely. Interesting stuff, guys. Let us know your top 3 players from yesterday's performance. So I'd go Sarr, I'd go Bergvall, and I'd go Palinha, I think, had a good game, but also Romero did. It's difficult, isn't it? If you have to narrow it down to just 3, if you just do 3, Frank, who are you going for?
I thought Bergvall, Sarr, and I thought Christian Romero.
Romero, yeah.
I thought Romero was excellent. I thought both the centre halves. In fact, I thought there was no one on the pitch that wasn't fantastic. I didn't think, or played well enough at points. But yeah, Romero and the 2 midfielders, I think I'd go with.
Cool. Christian saying Premier League need to pay Porro a bonus wage. Yeah, no 0-0s. That is. I almost don't believe that stat. 87 Premier League games. He's never featured in a 0-0 draw. I mean, to be fair, most of that's Ange Ball, and like, when was the last time Ange Postecoglou had a 0-0 draw? I don't think he can let a 0-0 draw happen. Did he ever let a 0-0 draw happen? He kind of done, right? So,
other than Tamworth, which was obviously extra time, but it's mental. The only 0-0 he had was Tamworth. I mean, it's just
absolutely
already done it.
Absolutely. Bournemouth lost their back line, most of their back line. Yeah, absolutely.
Still doing well. Signed to good players, and Senesi was already there. He was a good player.
Good afternoon, Frank Thomas and the Red Card Bandit. For Dave and I were on clubs yesterday, pro clubs, and I got 2 red cards in 2 games. I had an absolute stinker, but you know, I was Xavi Simons on the left. I got a few goals. Dave knows that I was the business last night. But Dave, good to see you, mate. Hope you're all good today, mate. Cheers, guys, and Ed too, mate. My friend's telling me let it run. Fingers crossed on your bet, mate. Palinha, Romero, and Bergvall for Spurs side chat in terms of the 3 best players. Ashley's going for Van der Ven, Bergvall, and Palinha, and I only rate Spurs players based on the top 6. The rest are expected. Fair play, but you got to rate all games, really, mate. Thomas Frank, man of the match, is Spurs diehards, and Kate Miller's talking to Dave in the chat and says, "How can you not know me? You are the biggest Spurs fan in Ireland." Absolutely love it, guys. Listen, we are going to wrap up in a minute. Before you all click off the video, please could you do me 4 massive favors, if you could. One is to subscribe down below. We are going to do a tactics video offline, so please subscribe to SpursRelated down below. Turn on your notification bells so you never miss that video. We're going to break it down. Frank Thomas's AI son. Thomas Frank's AI son, Frank Thomas. I'm getting confused as well. We are going to break down the tactics in a video that comes out later. So please stay tuned for that. Turn on your notification bells not to miss it. Subscribe if you are new. Hit the like button on this video. Apparently we have 50 likes or something, and there's been like 200 of you watching. So please do also smash the like button for me as well. That would be absolutely brilliant. Look, 50 likes. That is shocking. That is shocking, guys. Appreciate all your support, but that is absolutely shocking. And the other thing, other than notification bells, smashing the like and smashing the subscribe, is to please go and subscribe to Frank's channel as well. I'm going to put it in the chat for you now. All you need to do is click on the link and press subscribe. That's all you need to do for me. He's 15 away from 300 subscribers, right? And this is a new channel for him. So please all click on this link now, which I put in the chat 5 times. You can't miss it. I've just spammed my own chat. Click on that. Subscribe to Frank. There's 110 of you still in here. If we can't get 15 subscribers for Frank with 115 of you in here, what are we doing? What are we doing? So, guys, please do smash the like. Frank is splitting out. Do you not pay his wages? What's happened there?
I imagine they think I'm leaving because I haven't been paid. But no, I'm staying here. This is my home.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And guys, let's please get Frank those 15 subscribers. That would be absolutely brilliant. Make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you turned on the notification bell. You guys have been brilliant today. Subscribe if you want more content. As I said, we've got a tactics video coming out later. So we'll see you very soon. Thank you so much to Ulrika Johnson for the super chat as well earlier. That was very kind of you. And also thank you to Sean for the raid as well. That was absolutely fantastic. Guys, like, subscribe, noti bells on, subscribe to Frank, and we'll see you very, very soon back on Spurs Related. Have a lovely Sunday afternoon, and we'll see you for the video later. And remember, as always, come on you Spurs! Get in there!